Quick!
Whoa!
Go! Quick! Go!
Oh!
Hail!
I hear a certain Matthew has been rampaging round here.
Do you mean Matthew the Collector?
Collector? Is that a nickname?
That's what he calls himself. He says he's collecting for the king on the roads. But he's just a common bandit. And a real pain in my ass. If I didn't have to deal with this Janos Uher bullshit, I'd have dealt with that scumbag by now. But as they say, misfortunes never come lightly. When there's bullshit, there's a lot of it.
Where does Matthew the Collector rob people most often?
He has already robbed several traders on the roads between our village and the Sukhdol fortress. You'd better avoid those places. Although, there is a bounty on Matthew, if you dare. Not too measly, actually.
I'd be happy to help. The likes of him belong behind bars or in the pillory.
Or the gallows. Listen then. Besides the fact that Matthew robs traveling merchants, he also has something much more valuable. If you can bring it to me, you'll get your reward.
What precious thing can a bandit like him have in his possession?
Here's the thing. Not long ago, a certain master Illuminator was passing through. An interesting man, honored guest. I gave him lodging and food at my house and asked him a few questions. He said he was delivering a book to Sedlets, for which he had been asked to make pictures. He was very careful with it and kept it close the entire time. He left at dawn the next day.
And what happened then?
They found him dead by the wagon he arrived in, which was burnt. The book had vanished into thin air. If Matthew's involved, and I bet he is, he must still have the book.
Janos Uher?
That's the scoundrel I have locked up in the pillory outside my house right now.
What did he do?
He was trying to rob the blacksmith's house, but Loisa, his helper, caught him. He lunged at him, but Janusz pulled out his axe, and the lad ended in a bad way. God knows if he'll survive. If we have to bury Loisa, I'll make sure Janusz hangs.
Oh, my back.
How about I treat this Loisa boy? Would you let Janos go free?
What do you care about him? Is he some pal of yours?
Oh, God, no. But I need him.
All right. If you heal Loisa and pay for that scoundrel, I'll let him go. But don't let him show his face around here again.
Back.
We're now open.
Greetings.
Take care then. Thanks for nothing.
Listen. Praise be Jesus Christ, young man. I'm sorry to bother you, but I must stop you for a moment. Can I have a word?
What do you want from me?
I'm the royal collector, and I want you to pay your duty.
What duty?
The king's duty. Now come here and don't delay. So, what'll it be? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Matthew, the king's chief customs collector. I collect dues on trading routes.
Ah, I've been looking for you.
Is that so? Why would that be?
The Dry Devil sent me.
That old bastard is still alive. I thought he'd been executed a long time ago.
He's free again, thanks to us. He's getting his old band together, so they sent me looking for you.
That's so very sweet of him. So he whistles and I should come running to him like a good boy.
So, you don't want to come back then?
For the record, I have nothing against the devil, but I don't want to stick my neck out for fuck all anymore. I'm doing well for myself as my own master. The past is past.
And you're content with robbing poor souls by the road?
Ah, you are quite wrong there. I'm a customs collector, and it's still better than being with the devil.
You're just a lowly thief. At least the devil fights for the king.
How? By looting and pillaging? The only difference is I'm doing it for myself and he's doing it for others. Although he also takes pride in his fame.
You don't understand. How could you? The devil is a nobleman. Things are dealt with differently by them.
That's rich coming from you. Anyway, you can tell the devil that I thank him for his offer, but after careful consideration, I'm choosing to be a free tradesman.
Well, all right.
Since you're already here, did you pay the duty?
What are you talking about? What duty?
What do you think? To the king! I am His Majesty's Chief Customs Collector.
Aye, and I'm Emperor Charles.
So where's the payment? A royal customs collector's time is precious.
What customs collector? You're just a bandit.
Peace all difference. Those who have, give. Those who don't, take. Cough up!
I'm not giving you anything.
We'll take it ourselves then.
That's a very poor decision. Have you grown tired of living?
You don't know who you're dealing with.
I could say the same thing.
Fuck! You know what? Forget it.
Happily.
I'm not heartless either. Just so you know. If you want to learn something for the right price, I'll teach you.
All right. How can I find you?
We camp in the woods by the hill near Visoka. It will probably take you a while to find it first. Now get out of here. And give my regards to the devil. Or maybe not.
Quick! Quick! Go! Whoa!
God bless.
Good to see you, friend.
Was möchtest du, mein Freund?
I'm looking for someone.
What can you do?
His name is Ranyek, and he carries a nice bow.
That means nothing to me.
And he plays dice. A lot.
Ja, jetzt weiß ich's. Gestern hat sich völlig betrunken. Yesterday with some Pole. They were causing a ruckus until the morning. And I'm still feeling sick.
Where can I find this Ranyek?
Try asking the man who paid for his losses yesterday.
Was he broke?
He lost a small fortune here yesterday. It looked like he was going to get a nice beating because he lost more than he had. But a bunch of Kerler from Bilani, who also came to play, lent him some coin. I reckon they felt sorry for him.
And do you know where I could find these men from Bilani?
In Bellany, I reckon.
Thanks a lot, I suppose.
Tut mir leid. I can't really think clearly after last night. If I were you, I would ask the Bellani innkeeper. With luck, you will run into them right there.
Why would they pay for Ranyek? Did they know each other?
I do not think so. Maybe they just felt so...
I should...
Yeah,
This...
yeah.
Aye.
You should ask...
So where...
If you go,
I'll go to see...
you should be...
I'll be on my...
Nichts zu...
Good day. Finest wear. Take closer and take a look.
Clear off, you yokel!
Great. I'm glad you found what you were looking for. What do you need? Hurry up.
What do you have for...
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
Lord be with you. God bless.
Good day to you.
Christ, pardon me.
How's your arm these days? That bad, is it? Love
Hey? Hold your horses. What are you part?
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Excuse me.
Are they? I'll be right with you.
Well, you're not shagging it. That's your...
You can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all, the one called woman.
Tell it to the bird.
You speak the truth.
Come and take your pick. Quality goods, the finest wear. Sound as a bell. Come and take a look. Quality goods. Muslin, Barchit, the strongest Barchit from Kashov. Needles, thread, pins.
God
silk
grant you
thread.
I'm sorry.
Big and small, round and thin. Come and buy some new plates.
Big and small, just for sale.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say I wouldn't contribute, but I'm not giving them a single groschen.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Linen canvas. The softest linen canvas.
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Quality tools.
Not like no other.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on.
So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. There is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. A tunic you have? Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be
For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way.
In short, behave as if you're not there.
But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double.
You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaid or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Unversüchlich. Our current Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
Hey, waiter, pour me some Tokai.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnik,
I
the Dry
apologise,
Devil,
sir.
used that
Which
thing.
wine? Tokai.
That
That's the white.
Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison.
Wait!
And Herr König surely knows this too.
What
Sir?
is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that
Thank
your
you,
stubborn
waiter.
heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to
I'd
fight?
like some monastery
exactly?
wine. Refill
The
my cup,
merciful
boy.
King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army.
I'd
will
like
not
to
be here
oblige, but
forever.
I'm not allowed.
Shut up!
This is unbelievable.
The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver
fancy
heap
something
in the
to cry.
kingdom,
Refill,
and
boy.
we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
I apologise, sir.
Can always confiscate
Which
the
way?
property of the
Tukai,
king's
white.
enemies.
Are you deaf?
Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory, and the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the
Sir?
taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him.
thank
He'll
you,
take
Lord.
the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city
I'd like some monastery
and the
wine.
state of the public
Refill my
baths.
cup, boy.
You mean baths or
Sorry,
brothels?
sir. Orders from above.
This is unbelievable.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman
Is everything
named
all
Betty
right?
has shown
No.
up on Hopring.
But there's nothing you can
They're
do
the
about
bats
it.
that used to be
Come
there.
closer.
She's a...
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
You know what?
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That
I
old
apologize.
weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as
Tokai!
we know,
And the full cop.
Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate
I
all he
apologise,
wants,
sir.
as long as he does
Which
no
one?
damage.
Tukai!
Ulrich,
That's the
what have
wife.
you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears
thank
must
the
be
Lord.
deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated.
Tokai!
I don't
and the
think
full cup.
Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Are they only just pressing the grades for the Tokai?
God
Sir?
knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels.
I'd like
Not
some
only
monastery
barbaric,
wine.
but also
Refill
illegal.
my cup, boy.
If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild
apologise,
and
sir.
do whatever they want.
Which one?
I suspect
Red,
the
and
gentleman
quickly.
from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard, is just hanging around the
Sir?
market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsoga.
Don't hang around me.
You act
Vanish,
like you've never
hear
been in
me?
a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
I apologize.
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff.
Everything
and
in
that's
order?
that.
Not quite.
There are more
But I think you
pressing
might be
matters
able
to
to
deal
help me.
with.
Come
More
here.
pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparent.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while,
My words exactly.
All right,
The town council.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Oh, that was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our noses.
I'll have a cup of
Just
wine.
the village with the monastery.
Nice big
And they are going to mock a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster?
I
Hire more
apologize, sir.
craftsmen. Start with night
Which one?
shifts.
White
Haven't you noticed
Tokai.
there's a war going on?
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling
sir.
there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
You do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
When hell freezes over,
Hey,
my
boy.
friend, your
Full
place
cup
is
of
at least 2
monastery
steps
wine.
behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my
Sir?
seat for the services our guild provided and still
Good.
provides
Now
to
run
the
on.
crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from
Boy,
the whole
I'd
town
like some
go to
white.
watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we
Boy,
have to discuss
are you
next?
deaf or something?
Sir?
Wine! White! Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's going to tackle Rootard.
Azonal Küçek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, ich Kelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this plan of falls!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malishov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That Messenger of Radzik Copula.
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
What's his name? It's easy for him to rouse people to war when he has nothing to lose. From what I heard, he's
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Was that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin likes to exaggerate.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopry to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against...
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your ass! Look at my eyes, not at my sword!
You want to...
What's wrong with your legs? Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through!
Not bad for a priest.
Left arm
Bad
lower.
luck.
Swing
me with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
Not bad for a priest.
You don't know which end of that thing is up.
You want to try me?
That was sneaky.
Kurma! I'm wounded!
Did they teach you that in the seminary? Sacre! You're fast.
Ha! No chance!
That was sneaky.
Come on then!
Sacre! You're fast.
Enough! That will do!
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
How was your trip? The journey itself was great. No delays. I saw that firm hand of yours with my own eyes. Some bastards burnt down a farm near our common enemy. Who was it? I don't know.
Where they remember well how
I'd be surprised if it was the royal. Settlings.
out of it.
You said it yourself. It was war back then.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sasa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we? Cheers! Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Sabuchik, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yivka and the unhappy Lord Caitlin.
Here's to a good bargain.
Thanks.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
God be with you.
Take a look at that.
What brings you here?
G'day, g'day. A few nightingales and they all screech like the devil.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, with all the clamour going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects, not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors. They need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
I will.
How would you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if he'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
Either. The sausages were also delicious. And when those two go...
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
So you see, nobleman, best thing we not the first to end up like that in Sasau region. Well, I'm just beginning.
Quite a farcical beginning. When those two Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday too.
Shut it!
Come on. Someone...
I haven't eaten so well.
I couldn't try that.
Not. Oh, putain. Baron
Lord Bergstein.
I sure did. Botchek made sure everyone heard.
And who is this young puppet? I've never heard of him. Yet another impoverished nobleman. Not the first to end up like that in the Sasau region.
The sausages were...
I thought your Lister was brown-eyed, though.
An agreement. It is going to take time to raise an army.
Sigismund, you twat.
Well, you're right about Sigismund.
I find the whole affair quite somber. Poor bride, too.
Perhaps we're being harsh. Maybe it'll be a happy marriage. The lad might have picked up a thing or two at the bar.
Caught something, more like. I myself got a bad rash from a place like that not too long ago. Shut your mouth, or I might throw up all over your shoes. Did you hear that Lord Kunstadt's niece is marrying the young Lord of Perkstein?
Baron Vaku.
The name is unpronounceable. When those two come.
Maybe I should have some spice.
If he was so favored as to run away from the first army that crossed his path.
Jesus wept.
And I'm telling you,
Scrubbing that floor.
Greetings.
Good day.
And a tail. And I say, it's a horse. But if you've got a different idea of what a horse is, then we'll have to discuss it.
Not a bad one.
If I know my luck, things will start going sour now.
Expensive horse for a battle. You just need one that can run straight.
You're wrong. In a battle, your life depends on your steed. And some easily spooked pony is the last thing.
With you?
But you know my answer. I appreciate your friendship, but I'd rather run my own.
I reckon he's more of a draft.
They're trying to agree on something they don't.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
The surrounded Christopher! He can't make it on his own!
Take that! Up and get hack your ass off!
Fuck off! Show what you're made of!
Bad luck!
You got him! Next!
One step back! Soon be leaving now!
Don't spare it! Don't spare it! You're off! Come on now!
More coming! Brace yourselves!
Go! Go! Ka! Ka!
This is how we fight in
Don't spare it!
Dead, yokel! Right on the knocker! Cover your head, damn it!
Smash him on the head! But he's still standing! Take that! Let him go! You caught him out swinging! You got him! Qu'est-ce que t'attends, connard? Pray you
Help me with that! Bleeding!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
My younger brother, Christopher. You've known him for half a day, so what?
Shut up!
Look, leave him be. He's right. I just met my brother. Only to lose him again.
I'm sorry. I really am. God grant him eternal life.
Thanks. Once we're done here, I'll give him a funeral.
That is the least you can do for him.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while. Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews. Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I would get up again. One captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Wojciech is as greedy as a pig. Hinek is... well, you know.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
Dirty. Well, at least it was overcooked. No, you almost took Hinek of here.
Nothing sacred to them. Such a bloodbath.
Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
Didn't even spare the animals, the butchers.
My Tempest lost his life too. They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 like him.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
Didn't even spare the animals, the butchers.
My Tempest lost his life too. They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 like him.
What about your horse?
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
Didn't even spare the animals.
My Tempest lost his life too.
bolting out the gate. Someone set his maid in a jail.
This is a nightmare.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Even a man like you can't know everything. At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of us. Young Oderin, Anna of Volstein, and several other nobles are dead. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. Jesus Christ.
Nothing sacred for them. Such a bloodbath.
Who what? Fighting makes a man
But I still insist that it...
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us, then?
Nothing. Proof, perhaps, that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
I'll be back soon.
Hurry up. Did I not tell you we should... not come here?
You did. But I still insist that it was necessary.
We can go.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Let's go then.
Barakata Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam.